The all-rookie team from Jamey Eisenberg right now on Fantasy Football Today Express. Welcome, folks. Jamey's got his all-rookie team. You know, but probably not going to be the running back we expected. But let's find out. It was a good rookie class, fun rookie class, especially at tight end. Jamey, what do we got? All rookies, quarterbacks.
The quarterback is Jaxson Dart, and I had a hard time choosing between Dart and Tyler Shough because of the way that Shough finished the season. And again, this was done prior to Week 18, so take that into account. But I think Jaxson Dart's overall body of work, and if you listen to our full-length episode on Monday, I took a lot into account of when we were relying on these players and were we starting them versus not starting them. And so Dart, when he became a thing in Week 4, was a starting fantasy quarterback almost immediately. What he did as a rusher, second for the season, tied for second for the season in rushing touchdowns behind Josh Allen. He had 9. His 11 starts, 8 of them, he was over 21 fantasy points. And he did all of that really without Malik Neighbor. So just an amazing season, and I think deserving of the all rookie team quarterback spot in the conversation for all rookie MVP.
Amazing. This number here. Tyler Shough scored 24 fantasy points or more in 6-point per passing touchdown leagues one time. Jaxson Dart did it 7 or 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 times. Including
more starts too.
4 games. Yeah, more starts, but that's incredible. Just forget about the Shough thing. Just 7 times in his, how many starts did he make? 10?
Dart was 11.
11? That's pretty impressive.
Yep.
All right, how about a running back?
So running back was tough. You had several quality candidates. I think you can make a case that there were really 9 good running backs in this rookie class. If I have the number. No, 6 good running backs in the rookie class, excuse me. So I went with Ashton, Jeanty, and RJ Harvey. So Jeanty's a bust from where he was drafted. But Jeanty as a fantasy option, if you just take his production separate from where his draft cost was, he was still better than the class. So if you're factoring in draft cost, I get it. He probably doesn't warrant being on there. But I still think you have to take into account I think I made a mistake when I said Cam Scadaboo led all rookies in points per game. Jeanty led all rookies in points per game. So he still was a starting fantasy running back in a lot of cases, even despite the down performances at times. But he was still better than a lot of the players in his class over the course of the season. And then RJ Harvey, the way that he finished, going into Week 17, 4 of his final 5 games or 5 of his final 6 were over 20 PPR points. Like, he was just an absolute monster. Scored 6 touchdowns in his last 5 games. Like, he just crushed it after J.K. Dobbins was injured.
You were right, but no, Scadaboo did lead in points per game.
He finished better than Jeanty?
Yeah, by about 2 points.
Okay.
16 to 14.5, so 1.5 points better per game. And that was with one game he had 4 touches and scored a touchdown and scored 10 points. And he had 4 touches in Week 1 also. So if you just look at the games in between that, 6 games, he was insanely good. Yeah, but it is a tough call because this was a disappointing year, I think, for the rookie running backs, which is a shame. And Judkins had a great opportunity. Judkins got so many touches for so long and didn't make as big of an impact as we thought. But
yeah, I have Scadaboo as the flex on the all rookie first team.
Okay, I could see how this was a tough call for you. So what do we got so far? Quarterback and running back?
Yeah, so Jaxson Dart's the quarterback, Harvey, Jeanty, and Scadaboo, the 2 running backs in the flex. And again, I did this as a traditional fantasy team with 3 receivers. So really the easiest part were the receivers. But the running backs were tough because you can make a case for Hampton when he was healthy. You can make a case for Trevion when he was on fire. Judkins when he had that stretch of games. Like, all those 6 running backs, I think, are worthy of consideration.
We'll take a break and find out who those easy wide receivers are after this. All right, let's talk about the wide receivers. 3 wide receivers on this all-rookie team. Who do you got?
I think you could probably figure out the first 2, Tetairoa, McMillan, and Emeka, Egbuka. They had great rookie seasons for their body of work. There were stretches where they were absolutely amazing. Certainly Egbuka to start the season. he tailed off. But unfortunately, nobody ever really picked up the mantle from those two guys and said, okay, I'm going to just have this strong. Remember, we always have these strong, like, rookie finishes. We really didn't get that consistently. Luther Burden had a couple of good games. I think the injuries, sort of played a part. So he's the third receiver. Jaden Higgins had some good moments. Jamey Eisenberg had some good moments, but none of them I think are worth, taking the other two guys off the list. And I gave Burden the third spot just because of how he finished the season with 2 of his final 3 games, missing one of those. But in the fantasy playoffs, he was 14.4 PPR points or more. So Burden got the third wide receiver spot. So Egbuka and McMillan, and we'll see. McMillan's still in the conversation to be NFL Rookie of the Year. But McMillan, I think, was the best rookie wide receiver over the course of the season.
Absolutely. And this was not billed as a good wide receiver class. I think the guy that could swing it would be Matthew Golden if he can do anything next year or anything significant. But
I'll give you 2 more, 3 more. I think Higgins, with the way that he showed some flashes. I know a guy that you're high on, Trey Harris, depending on what happens with Quentin Johnston and Keenan Allen. If we like Herbert, I think he's going to play a lot more. And then one guy that I'm really excited about is Kyle Williams, with what Drake May looks like right now. If he can get into a full-time role, I think he could be a decent playmaker. And I'll give you one more, Torrey Horton. 4 touchdowns when he got on the field early in the season, then got hurt. I know we're not going to love Sam Darnold, but I think he could be another guy that can end up being in the 3 receiver conversation as the season goes on next year.
All right, let's give the tight end, and then we have some breaking news to address. Who's your all-rookie tight end?
This was a tough one, man, because I think you look at Tyler Warren and what he did over the course of the season. That's tough. And then in the case of Harold Fannin, how he finished the season, I gave it to Fannin. I think just, what he did, how he performed in the fantasy playoffs. Really, when Shedeur Sanders took over, he was elite, and could be elite this year. It's good. After what Colston Loveland did in the final 2 games, it's going to be very tough. Who's the best sophomore tight end? Because who's the quarterback for the Colts? Who's the quarterback for the Browns? What do the Browns have at receiver? Loveland, is tied to great coach who loves his tight ends, and quarterback. Clearly, that is going to make him, I think, special. So
yeah, but he's done it all without Rome Odunze at the end of the season.
It's true.
It's tough.
It's still though. Remember, you go back to draft capital. This was the guy that was drafted first ahead of Tyler Warren. I think Warren as a complete tight end is better. Loveland might be a better pass catcher, though.
Yeah. Oh, man. Loveland. Right. Loveland looks more like a wide receiver.
Yep.
And Warren looks more like a tight end. Both are terrific. What's that?
Fannin looks more like a receiver than a tight end.
Fannin, yeah. I think I'd give this award to Warren over Fannin. Just off the top of my head, I feel like there were more usable weeks with Tyler Warren. Obviously, Fannin finished strong, but for much of the year, he was really not reliable.
So
Warren was really good.
It's funny you say that because it almost happened at a similar spot where Warren started to tail off, and then the Daniel Jones injury,
right?
And Fannin started to pick things up, and then Shedeur took over, and so it was like a tale of 2 halves, and could be some recency bias. It was I really struggled with it, but I gave the nod to Fannin.
It's perfectly reasonable. Pete Carroll has been fired.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Quick reaction.
I mean, I think they needed to hit the reset button with everything. It was an unfortunate season, but you just look at how they didn't win, they didn't get better. The coordinators were bad. You fired both coordinators. That's an indication on your hiring process. I'm sure his age had something to do with it as well. You now have the opportunity to get the number 1 overall pick. So you want to have somebody that's, maybe more an offensive mind, developing quarterback. Tom Brady's influence, I'm sure, is going to be big there. And then the whole thing with Max Crosby at the end, whoever made that decision, pissing off your franchise leader, probably not ideal to help your job status. So I think just the totality of everything that went into it, fortunate to see Pete Carroll get this opportunity and fail, especially fail the way that he did, because I do think he's a Hall of Fame coach, especially what you factor in college and the NFL. He was just amazing. But probably the last time we'll see him coach a NFL game again.
Okay. Mendoza handing off to Jeanty next year. How does that sound, Raiders fans? Who's coaching him? Brian Daboll at offensive coordinator. I think I saw some rumor about that. But all right, that's it for
You
the
have to
show.
figure out the head coach before you hire the offense coordinator.
Yeah, it's going to be Brady. Brady's going to be the head coach.
Who's the next? Who's the next quarterback that goes into the front office? We have 2 now.
I have no idea.
Maybe Rivers.
Yeah, maybe.
Rivers seems like a coach, though.
Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. We will talk to you on Wednesday on Fantasy Football Today.